At the game's forefront, Rocket League seems pretty simple. You drive around and hit the ball into a goal. Technically, this isn't wrong. However, you don't just have to drive around to do so. You can actually fly to hit the ball instead of driving. These are called aerials, which I'm sure you're familiar with. What if I told you that you could utilize dribbles while flying? Would you believe me? Welcome to this week's Rocket League lesson. Today we will be covering how to do exactly that. Let's learn how to air dribble. Before I send you off soaring through the air like a bird, let's get your hands warmed up for today's lesson. This warm-up will consist of two different options. These options vary depending if you are on the Steam version of Rocket League or the Epic Games version. For Steam players, I want you to go into the Steam Workshop and download Speed Jump Rings 3 by DMC. This warm-up is extremely simple. The objective is to fly through the rings with your car. This map starts out pretty easy and progressively gets more difficult over time. Feel free to take as long as you need, but you should complete this map once before moving on with today's video. For Epic Games players, I want you to load into free play on the Pillars map. I want you to fly around the two pillars in a figure 8 motion, only using air roll to turn your car around the pillars. I want you to stay airborne the entire time, not touching any walls, the floor, or the ceiling. Each rep should be 3 full rotations around the map. Complete 3 successful reps before moving on with today's lesson. Air dribbling is a skill used in Rocket League that allows you to dribble the ball while flying around in the air. This mechanic can be broken down into 3 steps: the setup, the adjustment, and the dribble. The setup entails the best way to get the ball from the ground up the wall, and then also the touch you should be making to get the ball back off of the wall. The adjustment is how to alter your car's positioning to prepare yourself for a successful air dribble. And the dribble is the action of dribbling the ball in the air towards the opponent's net. Let's learn how to perform each of these steps individually. What you want to do is load into a standard map in free play. For today's lesson, I will load into Champions Field. Step 1. The setup. Get the ball rolling towards one of the walls. If you notice the hexagons on the wall of each map, you'll want to make your first touch on the ball about halfway up the first hexagon. If you hit the ball earlier than this, you'll have to use more boost and your jump to attempt correcting your car's positioning, and if you hit it too late, you risk smacking the ball into the ceiling. Another tip is to keep your car about 1 car length away from the ball as you're approaching the wall. This should be done because the ball will actually slow down a little bit as it rolls up the wall, allowing your car to match the ball's speed as you meet the ball for your first touch. By doing this, you should get a decent enough setup on the ball to limit corrections necessary once airborne. You want to jump exactly as you make contact with the ball. This will essentially glue your car to the ball, allowing you to beat your opponents to any touches in the air. Worst case scenario, this leads to a mid-air 50-50, however, you already have the advantage with positioning and speed. Step 2. Air roll adjustment. Once your car and the ball are off the wall, you might feel awkward with the way your car is positioned. What you should do is use air roll to adjust your car so that your nose is pointed directly at the ball, while still slightly under the ball. To do this, you simply want to use air roll. If you're jumping off the left wall, use air roll left. If you're jumping off the right wall, use air roll right. During this adjustment, you don't want to boost through your adjustment. If you do, you're going to fly over the ball and angle the ball straight down. By not boosting during the adjustment, you allow time for the ball to float up above you so that you can get a smooth air dribble under the ball. Step 3. The air dribble. At this point, the ball should be in the air, flying towards the center of the opponent's net and your car facing towards the ball. The last thing to do is make sure you stay under the ball and guide it into the net. One extremely common mistake I find is that new players will hold boost throughout the carry. This is not good as you risk getting too heavy of touches on the ball, giving the opponent an uncontested ball and an easy counterattack opportunity. Instead, try tapping your boost as needed to keep your car afloat and give the ball light touches throughout your air dribble. Now that you understand the 3 steps within an air dribble, let's put it all together. Go ahead and load up the following training pack. This training pack has 4 simple air dribble shots. The goal for this training pack is to incorporate all 3 steps that we talked about into one fluid motion, so don't be too hard on yourself if you can't air dribble like a pro just yet. To build consistency with this motion, score each shot 2 times before moving on to the next one. Make sure that your air dribble shots go directly into the net with no bounces. Otherwise, match. Now that you've finished off your casual games for the day, you've officially learned how to air dribble. Be sure to continue practicing this mechanic every day so that you build consistency instead of losing it. Be sure to tune in next week to learn our next mechanic, double touches. My name's Coach Gingy, and I'll see you all next time.